Good morning, gang. Happy Sunday morning. Well, as the great national freakout continues here over all these drones that are now, what, Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, haven't heard any on Rhode Island yet, Texas, Utah, California, China, Argentina, yada, yada, yada. All right, all over the place. How worried are you? My bet is probably a lot less than you were X amount of years ago. Why? Because you're prepared. Now, the funny thing is, watching all this, people are freaking out. Okay? I mean, it's been the topic of videos for me for 3 days. It was the primary topic of conversation in the live stream last night. People are genuinely concerned. Understandable, okay? This is weird. We want answers. We're not getting them. We're used to that out of the Biden administration. The gaslighting and the lying has been their MO for 4 years. Not a big deal. But how worried are you really? Probably not that much. Watching other people who haven't done anything to prepare themselves for any sort of disaster, they're freaking out. You look at all the speculation, and I'm going to key on that word, speculation, as to what's going on. Gee, are these sniffer drones looking for dirty bombs that may potentially be set off, if you will, on or before Trump's inauguration? Maybe. Don't have any proof of it. At least I don't. Okay. The federal government probably does, but, they're not going to tell us. In one respect, you kind of don't blame them, because could you imagine what would happen if all of a sudden they came out and said, oh, yeah, these are sniffer drones looking for dirty bombs, nuclear, and it's on the East Coast somewhere. Could you imagine the panic? Okay. You think the highways look bad when a hurricane's about to hit Florida? Yeah. Tell everybody there's something on the East Coast. Ain't finding a hotel until maybe you get to Denver. Be kind of interesting that way. But no. Let's say they are to set up chemical warfare. Okay? You should be prepared for that. If they're going to release a pathogen, COVID-2 or whatever other Dr. Fauci made disaster in a lab somewhere, maybe that's what they're going to do. If it's something as simple as they're all armed to go through and just start shooting people in the streets. Okay? If it's the Chinese, if it's the Iranians, if it's the Ukrainians, the Russians, Hezbollah, Hamas, who knows? Okay. Maybe it's something they're using to set up all those military-age male illegals that are in the country. Maybe it's Tren de Aragua, trying to scope out new places for kidnapping children. I don't know. Maybe it's little green men. Maybe it's Martians, right? I mean, the speculation out there runs amok. It's everything. And all it does is stoke fear in people. And that's what they're trying to do. Trying to make you afraid. Trying to make you weak. Guess what? That doesn't work too well with the prepper community. Oh, you're going to set off a dirty bomb? Great. We've got NBC suits. You're going to set off a chemical attack or a pathogen attack? Great. We've got masks, filters, and everything that we need. We've got the materials to secure our house, or at least a room in it, to keep anything from getting in. Okay. We're not going to be able to leave our house for a year because, oh my God, there's radiation, or there's pathogens, or there's chemicals out there. Okay. I've got food. I've got water. I've got power. Okay. Do your worst. And when you finally decide to go door to door, bring body bags with you. Not for us, for yourself. Because when you go, hey, we're going into this neighborhood, and we, go through all these houses and everything like that. Now they're all vacant, and go into the first house, and you go into the second house, and you go into the third house, and you rape, pillage, burn, loot, murder. And then all of a sudden you walk to that fourth or fifth house, and there's a group of people sitting there going, we were wondering when you were coming. Boom, boom, boom. Because this is what we do. This is why we prep. We prep for the unknown. What is exactly going on right now over Jersey and everywhere else? The unknown. But anything and everything that they could possibly throw at us that's dangerous, we've already prepared for. Like I said, we've already got all our NBC equipment. We already have weapons to fight back. We already have fortified places in our homes or our property. We already have escape routes. We already have the food, the water, everything. We already have some sort of plan of what to do. We've already made connections with others in the community to work together to fight back. Sure, something crazy could happen. Chances are it's going to. I mean, this isn't some little operation going on. Whoever's doing this is spending millions of dollars, if not more than that, hundreds of millions of dollars, to buy these drones, fly these drones, do whatever they're doing, okay? They have a plan to do something. We just don't know what. And again, I'll say, the government inevitably knows what, and they are trying to figure out what to do about it. How deep in the muck the Biden administration is in being perpetrators, that we also don't know. But you can certainly bet something is coming. But sit back just a little bit and go, okay, all my neighbors who bought a jet ski this year, but don't have 3 days worth of food in their house, what good's that jet ski going to do to them? With whatever happens, not going to speculate. There's 1,000,001 possibilities. Who knows? Maybe they're all trying to figure out how to drop Taylor Swift tickets to people. I don't know. But whatever happens, you have a much greater chance of survival than anybody that didn't bother to put things together. Imagine, if you will, that we are locked in our house for a year, for 2, because there is deadly circumstances outside. You can do it. Most people in this country can't. Sure, it'll drive some of them crazy, some of them will starve, but you can take care of yourself. You can eat, you can stay warm, you can communicate with other people, you can protect yourself. This is what you've been working for. This is what you've foregone the vacations or the new car or the new pair of tennis shoes for when you went to the store and said, gee, I can buy, I don't know, a couple of cases of green beans, or I can buy a new pair of tennis shoes, and you bought the green beans and wore your old tennis shoes for another 6 months. This is why. When you built those shelves or spent your Saturday afternoons canning like crazy while your neighbors are out in the backyard having a barbecue, drinking a beer, this is what you planned for. In about a month, 4 days, I think at this point, the Biden administration is finally gone. We'll finally be rid of the worst president in the history of the United States, which is funny because every Democrat that comes in, that seems to be their goal, because Bill Clinton was worse than Jimmy Carter, and Barack Obama was worse than Bill Clinton, and Joe Biden looked at them all and said, hold my beer. We'll finally be rid of him. And they are hell-bent on destroying this country as much as they can before Donald Trump comes in to fix it all. And so they're going to cause as much damage as humanly possible to make us some progressive shithole, just like Europe's turned into, or Mexico, or a lot of South America. And now you're finally getting people that are coming in and trying to fix it. But no, they want to destroy it. They don't care. They still have that idea that they will be on top of the mountain and all the peasants, us, will be groveling at their feet, begging for any crumbs that they throw us. They just don't plan on the fact that there's a whole bunch of patriots in this country who actually had the foresight to go out and do something ahead of time, that we saw right through their crooked, criminal, grifting plans and said, we see what you're doing. We can't stop you, but we sure as hell can protect ourselves from the fallout of what you do. And when it comes time that they decide to go forward, and all of a sudden they are met with a resistance led by a bunch of preppers because we had the wisdom to go out and do something, they're going to be the ones stuck sitting back on their heels going, we didn't plan on this. Of course you didn't. In this country, patriots do the thinking. Progressives don't. Pinball out.